Is this on? It is. Is it on? Okay, good. All right, we'll call the regular meeting of the Cannon Township Board to order for May 12. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sigh.
Yes, let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for another wonderful day, and we thank you for the promise of spring, and we're just thankful for sunshine after many gray, long weeks we've had this winter. And we're just thankful for such a beautiful place to live in, and we pray for those in this world that need peace and just need you by their side. We are thankful for our freedoms, and we are thankful for just having such a great community to be in, and help us to love one another and treat others with respect. And we pray, amen.
Nancy.
Jim.
Here.
Cy.
Here.
Henry.
Here.
Jessica. Here. Steve.
Here.
Todd.
Here.
David.
Here.
Motion to approve the agenda, please.
Make a motion we approve the agenda.
Support.
Second.
It's been moved and supported. Any comments or questions, additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to approve the minutes from April 28th.
So move. Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions, comments, changes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Building report. Pretty solid. What? Oh yeah, Bill. Sorry. General Fund 19208 through 228, EFT 848, 841. Motion to approve those.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported by.
Second.
Good. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we can go to the permits. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Public comment. Anybody have anything to say at all? Anybody? Nothing. Okay. Pending business. Kits and parking. We have to do a brief closed session. So we need. What do we need, Doug? A motion to go into closed session. Yeah. Motion. We need a motion to go into closed session.
And make a motion we go into closed session.
Support.
Support.
Nancy.
Cy.
Yes.
Henry.
Yes.
Jessica.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Todd.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
All right. I hate to do this to you. Yes. You need to leave. Sorry.
Just go out in the hall. You don't have to leave the building.
You can come back in, so don't go too far. We said it would be quick, but we didn't say what we were comparing it to. So we are back in session now, and we have in front of us the negotiated parking agreement for the BLI and Aunt Belle's. It has been signed by Carla Wagner, and it has been signed by Greg Gilmore, and now we're just waiting to see if the board will give me authority to sign it. So what we need is a motion to approve the parking agreement and authorize me to sign it on behalf of the township. Support? It's been moved and supported. Any questions? Questions, comments, anything? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We're going to put this on our website too, so everybody has a copy of it. And that hopefully will resolve the, this is yours, Doug, whenever you, when, yeah. June 1st. It should solve the parking issue down there. Hopefully. There might be some more we have to do on it. Oh, we are going to pass an ordinance after what? Sometime after June, maybe? All right. What's that? Yeah, the attachments have the delineation of where the parking for the BLI on Aunt Belle's property is going to be.
Basically, the lower part.
It's the lower part of the lot. All right. All right. Next up is board discussion about the property Cannon Township owns at 9275 Belding Road. Todd.
So I'd asked to put this back on the agenda because we had started talking about this year
2
ago.
months ago, a month ago.
That's been a while ago. Okay. And I just thought the public might want to know what the latest update is on that property. So for those who don't know, there's some property that we own. Is it 5 acres? I think down the road, Belding Road across from Cannon Concrete, if you know where that is, next to the Frank's house. But anyway, so we were looking at putting that on an auction because we couldn't assess the value. We figured the best way to do it is put it on an auction. And then we been busy and Jim's been busy with elections, everything else. It just has not happened. So one of the things I wanted to bring up is, help me remember, what is the reason why we're selling it? Does anybody have any opinions on why?
Well, Matt Frame brought it to my attention that we had it since '74, something like that, and if we were going to use it or not. And to be honest, I don't think anybody on the board knew at that time that we even had it.
Yep.
And we talked about using the proceeds for the playground or something else. Then the tower sale came up, and it just kind of got pushed on the back burner and
Sure.
never moved with it.
One thing I would like to propose for the board to discuss is the potential of not selling it. The reason why is we own it, doesn't owe us anything. Land is getting more and more expensive. If we had a project or a reason to sell it and could use those funds to fund a project, that would start to make sense. But, we might be able to use that someday for the future for a community center or a dog park or any number of things that we decide we want to do. And for right now, it's just sitting there vacant. So I'd like to maybe create a motion. Should I make a motion that we don't sell it? Or is there any discussion first? Anybody have-
Ever? Sell it ever?
Well, at some point we may sell it in the future, but I just don't see that we have a compelling reason to sell it now. That's
Are we actively trying to sell it?
I was supposed to, and I haven't had the time to get to it. So,
Well, we left out there, I suppose.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to make a motion that we sit on it till further action by the board. I suppose that's a fine motion.
okay. Then I'll make a motion that we do not act on selling the property until such time the board feels it fit to sell or a reason to sell.
and I'd support that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All righty. Solar panel discussion, Todd.
So, Mary Scherzer sent me a really nice note checking in on the solar panels. So I thought it'd be a good idea to also talk about this publicly so everyone kind of knows where we're at. Jim, I know you were the one working directly with the
On the quote.
on the
correct.
quotes and the engineers and so forth. So I don't want to steal your thunder if you want to talk a little bit about it.
No, I just again, it's been on the back burner. I gave it to Brian and Newhoff with the election that we just had last Tuesday, and things that were happening. We looked at it. We looked at the proposals. I'm not an electrical engineer, so the bids were from 195,000 to 525 or 534. I don't know. There's a huge difference in them. So we really don't know if at 195 we're getting what we want. Again, we talked about the roof.
Yeah.
Our roof isn't. It's got too many weird angles, and it doesn't collect the sun well. We'd have to basically cover the whole roof to get enough watt hours or whatever they call them to do any good. And
Yeah, the main-
plus, we have mechanical equipment up there. We've got air handlers and air conditioners, and so we lose a lot of the space that we've got. Plus, this roof is going to be replaced in about we're guessing 4 to 5 years.
Mhm.
So, do we push that up? And that's another $85,000 ahead of when it needs to be. So, it basically just kind of got put on the back burner until
Yeah,
we could spend some time really.
the main talking points I had on the roof were the angles are not conducive for the angle to the sun. Mechanicals are up there. Snow, how would we remove snow in wintertime
Correct.
to have solar gain? Potential leaks and the old shingles. Not that it's not going to be done. Those are just some of the cons that we were kind of looking at. There are some definite pluses also that we're not giving up real estate around our property here for a solar farm. We've also looked at this ground we have out here out back, and that tends to be a leading option. Although right now we're that's what the engineers, Prine and Newhoff, are looking at, is that back section back there. But the kind of the main talking points that we're considering there is that we're looking at expanding this playground. So until we know the layout of that playground, we have to make sure we wait and see how that's all going to lay out for that solar farm. The other thing is that we would need to, we're looking at the cemetery. We got to see how that's all going to lay out. We have residents that also use that field a lot for different things like ultimate frisbee or football practice or lacrosse, soccer, that kind of stuff. So we make some pushback there. When we're looking at where the placement, we'd have to remove a lot of the trees to the south so that we're not blocking those solar panels. So that trail, that loop trail back there would, it would kind of be exposed, and we'd lose a lot of nature back there. So not that we're against solar by any means. I'm just telling you some of the discussion points that we've had. We're still looking into it. Also, the other thing was the tax breaks weren't as good for government entities as well as consumers. So when we looked at the main solar field out there, it looked like the return on investment was about the same time as the life expectancy of the solar panels. So in other words,
Pretty close.
by the time those solar panels were due for replacement, we'd just have them paid off. So,
And we have to start over.
and we'd have to start over. So not that it's not worth doing. It's just a weak financial argument to do it is all at this point.
The
So-
second round would be less expensive than the first round.
Correct. That is true.
Infrastructure's there and the connections. One of the things we did look into it that I have found since is our panel is I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but like 75,000 watt power coming in, and with the amount of power from the solar system coming in, we need to upgrade that, which is another about $35,000 to upgrade our whole panel system.
How much work is left to do on this?
Oh,
Well, we've
No. I
On
mean
the
the
pan-
analysis.
oh,
we have the analysis. What we've done is we've decided to just pause it for right now until we understand the playground and we understand the cemetery and how all the grounds are going to lay out in the back and know how much space we have to work with. And then
Okay.
we're going to pick the project.
So
back
this
up.
is just an update.
It's just an update.
All right.
and possible if we do, we talked about a community center, and if we do build a community center, we would design it so the roof would be able to handle that solar system, and it would be less expensive, and maybe power that building. Plus,
The dream would be able to power both buildings.
so
Okay. So
there's
that's
just a lot of things all tied together.
all right. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? That was quite an update. All right. No, it was. There's
We
a lot-
try to be
You
thorough.
guys have been on it. That's good. All right. Jim, tell us about Headley.
Okay, every year we propose to put together a budget with certain percentages of our millage rate. As an example, we are allocated millage for the township is 1.1 mils. With Headley, over the years, it goes down a fraction of a percent every year, and we are down to 0.7351. So we're down about a little over a quarter of a mil from where we started. And then every year they take the Headley, which is the inflation or 5%, whichever is least, and applies to the new taxable values. And so that brings our allocated millage down. This year it's coming down by 0.165. 0.0165 mils. So that's going to bring us down to 0.7229. So we don't collect as much tax on the property as we did the year before because the property value went up. So we the thing with Headley was stabilize that so residents aren't hit with a double whammy every year. And that applies to the operating millage, the fire millage, the recreation millage, and the millage for the full-time firefighters. So they're all, but we have to, because it doesn't fit with our budget year to get it exactly, we don't know what that is until after the budget year starts. We put the budget year in with the old numbers, and then we have to do I had to put this in the paper, it's been out front, and we have to vote on this, and then I'll have to post it again, because now we're updating the millage numbers on what Cannon Township will collect. and it's called Truth in Taxation. So everybody knows what our tax rates are going to be and why they went down. Any question?
No. Excellent. That was great. All right.
We need a motion to approve.
Why is fire listed 2 times
I'm sorry, what?
on the sheet of paper? Why is the fire department millage listed 2
The
times?
1 mil is the fire operating, and the half mil is the extra fire for the full-time firefighters.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Let's talk about trail. What?
I need a motion to,
Oh, you need a motion to approve that.
Yeah.
Somebody make the motion to approve that.
I make a motion, we approve what Jim has out here.
What
I-
Jim has out here. That's descriptive.
Nancy will
Okay.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Nancy
I will second.
figure it out.
I will second what Jim has up here.
Yeah, second that, whatever it was. Okay, excellent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I do have one comment before you slip on. This year, our taxable value in Cannon Township went to $1.1 billion. So that's just the taxable value. That's not the state equalized or what the homes would sell for. But we just went over $1 billion. And I look back and in 2006, we were at 500 million. So from 2006 to now, the taxable value in Cannon Township has doubled. Pretty amazing.
Okay. Excellent. We done with that now?
Yep.
All right. Trail art.
Okay. So something I want to talk about tonight is that I was approached by Jeff Grill, who is here tonight, and him and a buddy of his named Lenny Chambers would like to install a couple pieces of art on our loop trail in the back here, and it's something that we've kind of talked about as a rec committee for a while. Because that trail it's ideal for families with small kids. It's ideal for some of our aging residents that don't have the stamina maybe to walk long distances. They get a chance to get out in nature and enjoy that peaceful, beautiful short walk. So give me that look. You think I'm including you
Talk
in that?
about me and the person. Go ahead.
So what this would be is his vision is to put in a couple installations. One him and Lenny would do. And by the way, I don't know if anyone saw the art installations a couple of years ago that was on the Cannon Trail by the Sunfish Boardwalk. But Jeff did those. Those wood pieces that were beautiful. So he's a fantastic artist and will do a nice job. So he's talking about doing one between him and Lenny, and then having one that the kids of Cannon Township can get involved with. So he wants to get a bunch of stones that are kind of triangular shaped and have the kids come in and paint them, and he'll bring all the paints, he'll take all the rocks, and then him and Lenny will install them. And he's kind of envisioning trying to make a dragon or something like that, so it looks like the back of a dragon on this log that's down. So there's some artwork or some renditions that he put together.
Cool.
Did I do a good job, Jeff? Do you want to add anything to it? Okay. The things we're going to want to know is there's no cost to the township. They're going to pay for everything out of their own pocket. They're going to maintain it, so there's no cost for us to maintain. Well, I say no cost. There's maybe a little bit of weed eating once in a while we might want to do in front so people can walk up to
Blake's
it.
out there anyway.
Blake's out there anyways. In the future, if there's any vandalism, they would take care of the vandalism. The only exposure we do have is such time if you guys decided you wanted nothing to do with it. Our worst case exposure is we pay somebody like Blake, our maintenance person, to go out and spend a couple hours cleaning it up. So the risk is pretty minimal.
Or just leave it.
Or just leave it and let the earth take care of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you want?
Probably board approval to move forward.
I'll make a motion to approve what Todd wants to do on the trails.
I'll
These
support
are-
what Todd wants to do.
Sorry, I'm
Boy,
following my.
that political class you took, that was awesome. That was great.
I was following my
Taught you
mentor
how to
Henry. No, I make a motion
articulate.
to move forward with the artwork proposed at Cannon
Beautiful.
Trail.
All right.
And I second that.
Supported by Jim. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Excellent. All right, Todd.
All right. You're all getting very tired of me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we are up or due for our 5-year master plan, Parks and Recreation Plan. This is required by the state of Michigan. And for the last several years, we used Prine and Newhoff to help us through that process. It does cost us money to have it done, but the return on that investment is phenomenal. It's the reason why all the DNR grants we were awarded was because of the great job they did helping us
Right.
with the master plan. So we are going to start this year. I want to have it done ahead of time. I want to have it done by January 1st. It's actually not physically due to the state till a little after that, but we've got a timeline we laid out. So what I'm looking for today is an approval to spend $14,900 to go to Prine and Newhoff to help us develop the 5-year master park and rec plan. With that, by the way, comes a survey. So we are looking to do some different things like with the playground, and we're going to incorporate all these concepts and ideas we have into that survey. So when that comes out this summer, I would encourage everyone to please participate in the survey so we know what the public wants to do with the money we have, and so we spend it wisely. So with that,
Is that a motion?
I would need a motion. Do you want me to make the motion? Can I make my own
That
motion?
sounded like a motion to me.
I'll make a motion that we approve the expenditure of $14,900 to Pride and Newhoff for the 5-year rec plan.
Support? It's been moved and supported. Any questions on that?
Can you make it to not exceed?
What?
14,000? Make it to not exceed.
Yeah,
14,000?
not exceed.
Let's make that not to exceed 15,000.
Man.
Okay.
With that friendly amendment, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have an email from Mark Radius, which was self-explanatory. Any committee reports?
Tomorrow we have a planning commission meeting here at 6 o'clock.
Okay. We have a meeting tomorrow on the sewer issues on the Bella Woods development. It looks like they will be able to put gravity sewer throughout the whole property. And then the question is going to be how many lots McGraw wants to be able to make it economically viable. So I'll report back on that. What else? Any other committee reports? No? All right. Comments. Cy, what do you got? Anything? Todd? Jim?
Yes, I'm looking at a new software for our cemeteries. We're currently with a company called Pontum that is basically a access database, and it doesn't allow us to do anything with it. I'm looking at a company, done 3 quotes now. BSNA has one, who is our software company for everything else, but it requires us to go to the cloud with all of our software. And the treasury and the assessor and everybody else in the county says, don't do it because it'll kill us. So BSNA is kind of
Well,
out
we
of
are
the
dealing
picture.
with cemeteries.
They have a cemetery module for the BSA,
It's okay.
but that means everything has to go to the cloud rather than on our server the way it is currently. The other is CIM, and they blew me away with their presentation. They will come in and they will map our cemeteries. They will, it'll be website accessible. Residents will be able to go in and type their last name and find out if they have any relatives, where they're located, and located on the map. Especially with our new cemetery coming on, people buying lots will be able to go in and see what lots are available, what's available in the cemeteries. It's going to be about $16,000, $17,000, so it's
Sounds
not
worth
cheap,
it though.
but it appears to be worth it. I'm just the other
We
piece
can
of
make
it.
that part of our website where people can access it.
Yep. The other piece of it is they're going to do a ground penetrating radar on the old Bostic Lake Cemetery, where some of our oldest graves dating back almost to the Revolutionary War. We have one lady we found that is a actual daughter of an American Revolutionary soldier that is buried there, and the Grand Rockford chapter, the Daughters of the American Revolution, are taking on a project of cleaning all the stones in that cemetery this summer.
Really?
And hers was the first one they cleaned, and it really made a remarkable difference.
Is that right?
in that
Well,
stone.
that's good.
So
Very nice.
and the other one is the Cannonsburg Cemetery. The old Cannonsburg, we've probably got about 80 lots in there that have never been sold, never been used. So it'll give us a little bit of inventory until we get the new cemetery built. But we want to make sure there's nobody in those graves that just didn't happen to have a headstone, because the last thing we want to do is go to dig up a grave and find bones. So
That would be horrific.
that would be horrific. So
All right.
probably next board meeting in June will be the
Keep us
request for
posted on
funds.
that. All right. Who, David? Comment? Jessica?
Can you explain to everyone why we're not doing the duck anymore as well?
Oh yeah.
Please.
So the duck.
For the minutes.
Yeah, for the minute. So last time we talked about a duck that was you're going to paint, and I was talking to Doug Van Essen about the duck, right? And the concern Doug had, which he told me, tell me if I get this right, Doug, was that the confusion about the township, and I know that people contributed privately to it, but when the board starts doing it, even though the board privately contributed to it, it kind of blurs the line between the government action and a private action. Is that right, Doug? Yeah, and we have to be very careful of that because it does create some confusion because people could see, if, especially if we put Cannon Township on the duck, and then people would say, "Did my tax dollars go to that? How much personnel was used for that?" These are kind of the issues that are raised by that, right, Doug?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing the duck, but I think we should just do it someplace other than Cannon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
And-
people can
and
do
for
the
tho-
duck.
For those that are listening that are thoroughly confused or maybe aligned with PETA, this is not a real duck.
We're not
This is
painting a real
rubber
duck.
duck that for the Rockford Rotary Club,
they're-
they're going to race down the river. So just
Yeah,
to be
there
clear,
was a duck race, and there's some people chipped in to buy a
Yeah.
duck, a duck of some toy duck something, and they're going to paint it. And it was a good idea, and they were going to paint it here at the township. But it's just we have to make sure that we as a government, I know it sounds hypercritical, but we got to have the line that Cannon Township Board is not using government money for this, taxpayer dollars, and the Cannon Township Board is not endorsing the race, is not, sanctioning it. Right, Doug? Those are the issues.
Correct.
All right. That's it.
We were trying to do something fun and have everyone sign it, but I get it. I'm so glad that we lean this way versus
We can
being
still
risky.
do it.
Well, we still are.
Yeah,
you still
good.
gotta
Yeah,
pay
no,
us.
you can. It can. What's
We
that?
probably
I said
spent
you still
more
gotta
time
pay
on
your
it
share.
than it would have if we signed it.
we're just doing it as friends
Let me
Yes.
make
outside of the township.
that duck is being spray painted and modified to Anna Morse is doing it off-site on her own time
Good.
at her
Yeah.
own expense.
Beautiful.
Yep.
No, then we have no confusion.
Nope.
Okay. Henry. All right. Extended public comment. Who has something to say? Anybody? No? Everybody's happy? What? Who? Come on up. Or not? That's,
We got to get you on the mic.
yeah.
We stream everything so they can hear us.
As long as the adults are painting, maybe we could tie the painting of the rocks and have the kids there at the same time, and they can paint their piece, and adults can make a mess too.
Beautiful.
That would-
when that's going to happen, but
It actually will happen too soon, I think, for our project, for your project out there. So that'd be a good idea, but I think we're too late on that one. So the ducks will probably already be raced by then.
okay.
But that's a good idea. Maybe next year or whenever. I don't know. Okay. If there's nothing else, we're adjourned.